this episode of my Mind Matters series, filmed at 2000 Trees Festival, I talked to Murray of the Xcerts about their amazing new single, Feels Like Falling in Love, before delving into the realities of being in a band, how they cope with things as a unit, and what spurs them to carry on through the tougher phases. I also wanted to find out how comfortable he is in the role of a frontman. It's the final day of 2000 Trees and I'm here with Murray of the Xcerts. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm feeling pretty fresh.
That's good.
Yes.
And rare.
Yes, absolutely. Especially considering last year when we were here, it was pretty chaotic. We brought like a ton of friends and kind of, I don't know, we overdid it. We certainly overdid it.
You've learned from that then?
Learned the hard way. So yeah, feeling good. We arrived today and I woke up to my parents. My parents have come down, so they turned up at my flat with coffee. So yeah, it's been a very wholesome day. Yeah, so it's been great.
Are you going to change that a bit later and be less wholesome though after the show? Maybe?
Yeah, I think so. I won't run amok, but I'll have a celebratory drink for sure. Yeah, if it's good. If it's not, I guess drown my sorrows.
Oh, don't. It will be good. It will be good. I was going to say, because obviously the hype at the moment, it's super positive.
Yeah.
When it's like that, do you allow yourself to get a bit giddy and excited, or do you like calm it down?
Yeah.
It's great, but I'm not going to get too excited.
Yeah, it's a bit of both really. Like we've never really experienced this kind of, I don't know, this kind of tidal wave of love that we're receiving at the moment, and it really is pretty overwhelming. But you know, we've been doing this for a very long time, so I think we're mature enough to be like, well, this is great for now, but we've still got to now go out and prove ourselves and actually play these songs well. And you know, it starts now, rather than like we've done it. Yeah. So yeah, for us it's a little bit of both. We're really excited though. The three of us are like, yeah, really kind of, I don't know, just enjoying it because who knows when the plug's gonna get pulled or something.
It's not often in a band you can actually have these moments that are actually just joyful, because there's a lot of stress being in a band.
Yes.
So you've got to revel in it while it's
absolutely hit. Yeah. It's not 100% sure people realize how emotional it is. Like we've been like emotionally invested in this band since we were like 15, and it's basically a marriage. But, you know, between the band members and the actual music itself, and just it's a hard thing trying to turn your dream into a career. I think that's a really hard thing, and so like the highs are just like euphoric, and the lows are just crushing because your heart and soul is poured into it, you know.
The contrast is pretty harsh on a human body, isn't it?
Exactly, and it kind of, your wires get tangled, and you know, your mind starts playing tricks on you, and that kind of like the anxiety of it all kind of basically can lead you down heaps of different paths, and you start overthinking. You overthink everything, and the smallest detail about the work can then become just the biggest thing, and it's like, oh my god, it's the end of the world because we sent out the wrong tweet today, you know, like.
But there's so many occasions where you can make mistakes now, whether it's like on Instagram, on Twitter, doing meet and greets. There's so many ways you can say something a bit wrong.
Yes, absolutely. So thankfully we're overly cautious with that kind of thing, so we're quite sensible online. But yeah, it can be a stressful thing being in a band. It's not normal to be cooped up with the same people for 24 hours a day for months on end. But nothing I'd rather be doing. There's nothing else I'd rather be doing.
That's why you keep doing it, because you know that's what you're meant to be doing, I guess.
Exactly. It's in you or it's not. And if it's in you, you keep fighting. And if it's not, you just say enough's enough. So we are dumb enough to say, let's keep fighting. Yeah.
Now, when you think about a musician's job, it is the most unstable job probably out there. Any kind of freelance job is.
Yeah.
Do you think really that's not suited to the sort of person you are? Do you think actually mentally you would be better in a 9-to-5, even if it was a bit boring? Or
that's a good question. I mean, I I think I'm quite like a melodramatic person at times, so
Okay.
I quite relish in like the dramas that come with being in a band, and I like romanticize everything. So I'm like, oh man, this will be a great classic tale when we're doing VH1 behind the music.
They still do that.
I don't even know. No, they don't. They definitely don't. So yeah. But then on the flip side, it's like, yeah, I feel I'm most anxious when things are out of my control, and yeah, I can't really like slow my brain down to kind of to level out and just say everything is fine. Just put it in this folder, this folder, and this folder. Everything's fine. But no, I'd be miserable behind a desk.
That's why you keep going with this, I guess, isn't it? 'Cause you know that.
Yeah, and I think I'm pretty okay at it. I think I'm okay at it. So it's a craft that I've been working at for a long time.
You've honed it well.
Yeah, so hopefully we're getting better. And judging by the reaction to the new single, we are getting better.
Yeah.
So this is good. This is like my career plan, I think, is working out.
It's like that.
It's that. It's slow. It's like the tortoise and the hare story. That's how we always view it. Or kind of, the blueprint that like Biffy Clyro laid out. So it took us 4 albums to figure it out, but I think we've cracked it.
I think you have it.
Great, thank you. Thanks. Yeah, touch all of the wood. Yeah.
No, you said that, not having control is the bit that stressed you out. So is it the period of when you've sent, the final music off, the final mixes off, and then it's getting made, and then you have to wait for the reaction? Is that the worst time for you, that waiting for the feedback?
The actual night before is the worst for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I go into meltdown mode and just kind of, because ever since we completely finished this record, I've just been really like confident about it. Self-belief within the band is really high, and then I can be like really arrogant, telling people it's a masterpiece, and we're gonna take over the world, blah blah. And then the night before, I go, oh no, I've just ran my mouth off, and it's actually really bad. This is that's what I want to.
It's a roller coaster, isn't it?
It's a roller coaster, yeah. One which I enjoy, but I don't think my heart enjoys it, or my blood pressure. I think it's no good for my body. But yeah,
I worry for you.
I'm learning to calm it down. So yeah, I'm feeling a lot more chiller and letting things slide and not being as precious about things, and yeah, just enjoying it, just really enjoying it. Yeah, life's way too short to get all hot and bothered under the collar about the small things. So.
It's hard to train yourself if you're a natural warrior, though, because I always say I'm going to be chilled, Sophie, today, and then 5 minutes later I'm stressing about something that's very insignificant.
Yeah, you are who you are, and if I've learned anything over the past couple of years is to just not apologize for it. Be who you are. Just be who you are. If you're anxious that day, you're anxious that day. It's all part of being human.
Yeah, but do you say, if you know you're having one of those days where you're particularly prone to being a bit highly strung or worried, do you tell your bandmates, today I'm going to be a bit of a nightmare, I'm going to be a little bit difficult? Or do you think they sense that, he's having one of those days?
They sense. Yeah. They get like a weather forecast. They have they can sense the forecast.
Predictions are there, yeah.
And then I'm my diva self, and then we get through practice, or we get through the day, or whatever we're doing, and then they know that an apology will come in the evening after I've sat down and gone, Murray, again, you're to stop, and then I apologize to them. But it does all stem from only caring so much. It really does come from a good place. The stress and the fear and the bad moods and stuff, it does come from a place of just caring so much about the band and wanting it to succeed as much as it possibly can. So, and they know that. I think over the years they've learned to they've learned that, sorry. Yeah, I don't know. The fact they've stuck with me is, all
it's a good sign.
Yeah, it's a good sign. I must be doing something right.
Not too bad.
Yeah, there must be like at least 10% of good in there.
At least 10.
At least, yeah.
Now, I've been talking to a lot of frontmen, and just hardly any of them are actually comfortable in the position of frontman. They always say it doesn't come naturally to them. They're kind of winging it and hoping. But do you feel a bit like that as well? Is it easy for you?
I used to be quite uncomfortable. Or maybe not uncomfortable actually. Just kind of like, I didn't really think about it. It was just like, cool, I walk on stage and I jump around and sing into a microphone and then I get off, and that was that. I never used to think about it. And then with our last album, I started putting on a bit more of a show and becoming a bit more of a front man, and I get really nervous before we play. I get really anxious. Again, it's that kind of control thing of like, is everything 100% correct on stage? Is everything fine? And as soon as we kick in, I ease up. But with the actual performing, I would say it comes quite easy. Because I do have a tendency to want to show off and to be a star.
You always had that?
Oh yeah, I was I was a very loud child. One of those kids that you see running around in women's clothing, and
putting on a show for everyone.
Put on a show for everyone and made an entrance wherever I went, and then I calmed down when I was like 18, and I'm a lot calmer. But when we get on stage, I can. It's just kind of like a bit of a switch. I'm not like that day to day or in my house or.
Be a bit much probably for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. No one
would
it down a bit
with
me. Yeah, you take it. Just take it down to 4. Take that right down. But when we're on stage, it's go time, and I enjoy putting on a show, and I enjoy being a front man. I kind of relish in it, but the anxiety and the nerves are sometimes borderline crippling. But yeah, I think it's just a getting older thing. Do you like overthink everything now?
Absolutely everything.
Yeah.
I don't sleep because of it.
Yeah. It's like when you were younger, you just kind of lived with naive eyes. Like like naivety was gorgeous.
Devil may care.
Yeah. And now you're older, you're so aware, and you just have time to dwell and overthink on everything. And so it stemmed a bit from that, and just really thinking about like, oh, that's weird. I walk out onto a stage where people just judge me. That's what I thought for a brief period.
Put it like that. That's horrendous, isn't it?
It's awful. And it was like, whoa. Not everyone there is judging you. Like, not judging. They're there to
enjoy you.
Yeah. They're part of it.
Yeah.
So they're with you. People in this room are with you. And once I calmed down again, it was fine. It was fine. So,
but what about after a show? If in your eyes it hasn't gone well, which it probably has gone well, but I know bands are so self-critical. Yeah. How do you, what are the hours like after that? Do you go and sit in the corner of the dressing room in a bit of a sulk? Do you go and drink? How do you cope with a less than brilliant show?
We all walk into the backstage room and it's quiet.
It's so awkward.
Funny, it's because we're so close. It's funnily enough, it's not too awkward because we're just aware. It's like, okay, not one. It'd be awkward if one person was like, "Oh my God, show of a lifetime." It's like, sorry, but no, we all know we're pretty in sync, and we know when we haven't performed well, and we go in. It's quiet, and then basically we kind of bemoan little bits and bobs throughout the set. And then usually we kind of just part ways. We go do our separate things, or just someone will go get a breather. So it's not just the 3 of us cooped up in a room. Someone will go outside. Someone will just check their phone or whatever.
Whatever your coping mechanism is to distract yourself from.
Exactly, and then we'll come back and we've argued before, in the past when we were younger, we've argued about bad shows, but now it's just we've been playing long enough to know when we're not on, and we don't really have to discuss it because we just know. We just
give each other a look, maybe
we vent a bit, oh, I did this, or that bit, you did this, blah blah blah. Not pointing fingers or anything like that, but it's not too bad. It used to be way worse, but now it's a bit more kind of okay. That's a bummer that we didn't play well. because we can play well and we didn't. Yeah.
It's like a missed opportunity almost, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's like you have one job to do. Your whole day is centered around an hour and a half or less.
It's quite a lot of pressure, isn't it, on that hour?
Yeah, true. But yeah, it's like, and we couldn't even do that tonight. Well done. But usually when we're on a tour, everything's fine. It's kind of one-off shows here and there when we've been practicing, and then we play, like in front of a crowd for the first time in a while. It's like, oh, there's people here, perform well. Yeah, no, it's all good.
I know I have days where I'm like, I hate that I'm an interviewer because I don't want to talk to anyone today. I feel like I'm going to say the most embarrassing thing or spit on their face or just like, it's awful. So you must have days where you don't really want to be face to face with people and chat and have to do all the small talk with, industry people and fans. Yeah. What do you do on those days when you kind of have to do it? How do you get around that?
Honestly, I've never not wanted to talk to people at shows. The only reason I would feel that way is if my throat was really bad. But honestly, this might sound a bit cheesy, but I genuinely love talking to people at shows. It's like one of my favorite things about touring. And people have paid their hard-earned money to come to the show and enjoy the whole thing. And if we have to go out front and hang out for half an hour, then I don't know. I do not see the problem. It's super nice for us, and we get to speak to people and hear about their day, and it's
doesn't make you anxious ever.
No, we genuinely just love hanging out and chatting on tour. Industry people, I've definitely had moments where it's like, oh man, I'm just not in a very good mood. So I don't know how I deal with it. I just soldier on, and maybe I have a bit of like a neggy vibe. Yeah, I'm not great at like hiding my feelings.
You're not?
No, no, I kind of wear my heart on my sleeve. So yeah, I don't think I've been in too many situations where it's like, oh, not today. I'm ruining this guy's day or this female's day because I'm miserable. But no, I don't have that too much. So I don't know. That's an interesting question though. Might have to ask someone who gets really miserable talking to people. Because
I spoke to some bands and they say they cancel all the meet and greets or they cancel all their press if they're really not up to it. Others just say, I just put on a brave face and get through it. I guess it's just a case by case thing, isn't it? Whatever you think you can do to get through it. But it must be awful if you're literally like... Yeah,
I mean, never really experienced that, like kind of the social anxiety of talking to people when I really, really don't want to. I've never really experienced that.
What about when you have to, because your new video is very stylish.
Yes.
Like you said, it was kind of inspired by the closing scene of The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. The record is as well. Yeah.
So when you're like in video mode where you've got to, maybe do sultry looks to the camera or be a bit sexy, how do you deal with that? Is that awkward, or are you like, this is quite fun?
Not okay. So when we were younger, it was embarrassing, and we were really self-conscious, and like we would all kind of giggle at one another if someone was doing something, we'd be like, ah. And then the other, someone would get irate, and now we couldn't care less. Like,
a nice place to be.
Yeah. It's like I find it so funny to do that kind of stuff in music videos now that I love hamming it up. Like, I love it, and I don't know, it oddly like gives me a buzz to think that someone would be miffed about it or be like, oh, that guy's posing or he's pouting.
Do you think people would be miffed? I think they just think he's being a frontman of a band.
Yeah. Maybe this is the first time we're going to experience this kind of stuff because we are hamming it up a bit these days. But yeah, I have started to really relish in just acting like I don't know, a diva,
New diva.
Yeah.
Xcerts.
Yeah. I chopped off all my hair and now I think I'm some sort of sass queen. Yeah.
I think you are.
Thanks.
Shall we end on that note? From the sass queen and me, Thanks for watching. Bye.